Interview. You might not get an interview for every school that you apply to, but if you do, it's actually a good sign because that means they want to learn more about you. Harvard doesn't accept anyone without doing an interview, so that's something that you will inevitably have to do. But for instance, like UC Berkeley, I got into that law school without an interview. So it just kind of depends on the school. I guess I'll divide this into what to do before the interview, and then I'll just kind of go into types of interview questions. Before the interview, I'd recommend doing a little bit of like breathing exercises, like just to sort of calm your nerves, because it's really easy for you to just kind of get all choked up and start talking a million miles a second, or just to seem a little bit nervous if you don't are not like in a calm space. Also, what to wear, I would probably wear like maybe a button down, or like, I don't know if you necessarily need to get up all into a suit, but I guess my best recommendation is don't look sloppy like you didn't care about the interview, but don't look like too primed and primed if that's not like who you are. So just kind of find somewhere in the middle ground. I'll talk a little bit about my interview, which did not go so well at the end of this, and kind of it'll be like a what not to do situation. During the interview, they'll ask you a lot of questions. There will be questions mainly just about yourself. So they'll be like, tell me about yourself, or like, what are your interests and hobbies? And I'll add a link to the actual Harvard posts, like a huge list of questions that you can just kind of go over so that you're not like thrown off guard. Like I remember mine, it sounds like such an easy question, but they're like, tell us something about you that's not on your application. And I was like, well, I put everything on that I wanted you guys to know. But I ended up talking about how I like to cook and like make cupcakes. So we like kind of talked about that a little bit, which kind of just like builds a rapport, I guess. So like the moral, I think, of that is to find something that you can like both talk about, so it's just not like a question, answer, question. And that way it'll be a little bit more memorable of an interview. Know what time your interview is at, because my interview is scheduled at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is 11:30 on the West Coast. So I got like the little da-da-dun, HLS admissions calling, and I was like, hey, is this a test call? And like, no, your interview's at 2:30, and I was like, oh, okay. So I ended up going straight through the interview, even though I was just like in a t-shirt, and I just had got back home. So I feel like that made it a little bit more candid, but I definitely don't recommend being caught off guard for your interview. Before the interview, I'd also recommend looking at what the school offers. So you can go on the website and look at law clinics or any student organizations specific to the school, because you can like embed, like if you're interested in defense law, look at like a specific defense clinic, see what professors work in it, and that way you can like bring that up during the interview, because if you're interested in defense, a lot of people can just like pull something out of thin air, but if you actually know the professors and all of that, it kind of makes it look like you're more invested in going to the school. Side note, a law clinic is where you get to work under like a licensed attorney, like in an office, or like you can work on a side project, and you do that like your second or third year. But I didn't know that when I was applying. I was like, law school, like just study. So yeah, that's what a law clinic is. Like for mine, I looked up the LGBTQ law clinics, which Harvard actually doesn't have. They only have like subsections within like immigration or like defense law. So I kind of like brought that into the interview, and they actually are starting a clinic next year, so it was kind of good that I brought that up in the interview, because sometimes it kind of seems awkward just to like throw in a name, but they really help you like facilitate the conversation, I think, if you bring in a little bit of outside knowledge. What else? I also would, a couple don'ts, don't read off anything or have like notes with you, whether you're in person or doing it like on like a FaceTime situation, because they already know all your stats and everything, and they're really kind of looking for your personality. So like knowing a bunch of like facts and stuff is not really going to help you, and you don't want to be like a robot reading off the script, because they want to like, that they can do that on paper. They're looking for like who you are. So yeah, I guess in conclusion, you should research the clinics and professors that the school has, know a little bit like why you want to go there, which is feeds into like the professors and all that kind of information. Know what time your interview is at. Don't read off a script. Dress nicely. Don't like show up in like a tank top or something like that. And yeah, just be yourself. I know that sounds like really stupid, but don't try to be someone that you think they want to accept. Just be your authentic you. Yeah. So good luck with your interview. If you got one, if you don't, that could be good or it could be bad. So yeah, good luck either way. Bye until the next video. And let me know if you guys have any other specific questions I can like answer in the comments, or like make another separate video. And I hope these help, because when I was looking to like for like videos and stuff online, I couldn't really find anything. So yeah.